can't believe I slept in. Where are my pants? Has anybody seen the keys?
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, there's a spot in your tie.
What? Has anybody seen the keys? By the time Jonathan's mother came to pick him up, the stocking was... By the time Jonathan's... Somebody get that! By the time Jonathan's mother came to pick him up, the stocking... Somebody get the door! By the time the stocking was too full, it made a big... Jeez, does nobody else live here? Hey guys, now don't run in the house. Don't run in the guys. Please don't run. Okay, just come back. Come down. No, don't run. Don't run in the house. Hey, what? Look out for the glass. Did you know they were coming?
No,
How long are they staying?
I don't know. They just wanted to surprise us.
There you are. Where's the car? Who's got the car? The camera's upside down. And that was my day. And what better way to end any day, even if it was a hard day, than with a reading from The House of Wooden Santas by Kevin Major. 5 days to Christmas. Jesse answered the phone. He was still in his pajamas. I know your mother is there and you can't talk about you-know-who, right? It was Jonathan. Right, Jesse said sleepily. And us doing you-know-what, right? Right. I just had to tell you that I woke up with a super fantastic plan to get you-know-who to do you-know-what. You won't believe it. Wait till I see you. Bye. And tell your mother you're asking me over to your place after school. Jesse's mother gave him an odd look as he hung up the phone. It was only Jonathan. What are you fellows up to now? Us? Yes, his mother said, staring at him intently. Nothing. It was tough to come up with something better when his eyes were barely open. He's coming over after school, that's all. Jesse gave her the sweetest look he could muster. He took off to get dressed for school. He was out the door with a kiss and 10 minutes to spare. Jonathan was waiting for him when he stepped off the bus. He was jumping up and down, trying to keep warm in the midst of the snow swirling around the parking lot. He led Jesse to the corner of the school, out of the wind. Okay. Ready for this? Jonathan said. Yeah, come on, hurry up. Do you think Miss Wenzel hangs a stocking at Christmas? Of course not. From his backpack, he hauled out a large wool sock. This is the biggest one I could find. It's Dad's. We'll fill it up with all kinds of stuff, and we'll leave it on Mrs. Wenzel's doorstep. Jonathan stood tall and silent, as if he was waiting for an applause. Jesse screwed up his face. On her doorstep? After what happened? He must be crazy. It's clean, Jonathan said. I smelled it. What kind of stuff? Jesse said, just to make him think he was considering it. You know, stuff. We haven't got any money left to buy stuff, remember? We spent it on lights, remember? We'll use what we already got. At recess, Jonathan snatched away Jesse's apple just as he was about to bite into it. Item number 1, he said. Then from the dark reaches of his desk, he dug out several snack boxes of raisins, left overs from recesses long past. Old people love these, he declared. By the time they reached Jessie's house that afternoon, the foot part of the stocking was nearly filled. Added to the food was an unsharpened pencil that glowed green in the dark, a reindeer ornament made from clothespin, pipe cleaners, and a tiny cotton red ball, an eraser that smelled like grapes, and a bookmark in the shape of a Christmas monkey with a gold-colored tassel for a tail. That last item belonged to a girl in his math class and had cost Jessie 3 of his best markers. At Jessie's house, they were hit with a smell that instantly turned on another light in Jonathan's brain. Gingerbread, Jonathan said. Good old-fashioned gingerbread. And old-fashioned people love it, even if they're not so good. Jessie's mother had 1 batch of cookies in the oven, and it had rolled flat a second pile of dough. She let them do the cutting. They washed their hands and went to work. They made stars and angels and snowmen, and out of sight from Jessie's mother, they made a gingerbread woman with a smile that stretched from one of her dangling earrings to the other. When they sneaked her into the oven to bake, Jessie declared, "This might warm her heart." "Yes, sir," said Jonathan. "Yes, sir." After the gingerbread woman reappeared and was set out to cool, the boys whisked her away to Jessie's bedroom and packed her in a box with some tissues. Down the sock she went. "Now," said Jonathan, "what else you got?" They scanned Jessie's room. They turned to his junk drawer and treasure boxes. The first find was an elf keychain. "Perfect," said Jonathan, who had become the undisputed expert in what they could include and what they could not. He dug through it all, holding some of it up for a closer look. What he finally decided on was a pack of old-maid cards, a sign for hanging on a doorknob that read, "Beware, adults enter at your own risk," and a bunch of stickers from the dentist's office that had elephants on them with big, toothy grins, and a Christmas tree ornament that was a Santa playing hockey. "Can't have that," said Jessie. "Come on." "No, come on. My dad sent it to me." He took it out of Jonathan's hands and put it back in the box. It was the first time he had mentioned his father in front of Jonathan. "Will you see him at Christmas?" "Doubt it." Jessie gave Jonathan a look that said he didn't want to talk about it anymore. By the time Jonathan's mother came to pick him up, the stocking was 2/3 full. It made a bulge in Jonathan's backpack. As he was leaving, he whispered to Jessie, "I'll get more stuff at home. I'll stuff that sock till it can't hold another thing." Their mothers were doing some whispering of their own. "Nothing else could do," Jessie said as Reverend Agnew was going out of the door. The boys looked at each other. Jonathan winked. A lopsided smile was the best Jessie could come up with. His mother was in an even worse mood, and partway through the meal that evening, she muttered, "I've been thinking about it all day. I'm not sending that craft shop the new Santa. In fact, I'm not sending them any more Santas. There's no point in even making—" "No way! You can't give up." Jessie couldn't believe it. His reaction startled her mother so much she dropped her fork. "You just can't," Jessie declared. "I won't let you." "But no buts." Jessie got up from the table. "Where is he?" There was desperation in his voice. Jessie trampled off to the workroom. He returned with Santa and placed him in the middle of the table. "See what I mean?" his mother said. "Just look at him. I thought if I went kind of wild, he might sell. He sure wasn't like any of the others. But that was no reason to give up. He's just different, that's all." "Crazy, you mean?" "Come on, start," Jessie said. "Come on." There was the edge of a smile on his mother's face. "In the house of wooden Santas, there's—" "Come on, I'm thinking. There's a fellow who always keeps you on your toes. There's—" I'm waiting. There's someone who's not afraid to jump off the deep end. There's a guy who's always full of surprises. That's it. He's our surprise Santa. His mother's smile had grown to full size. She shook her head. Never a dull moment with him around. Yup. Wonder what other surprises he might have. You never know, Jessie said. You never know. Until tomorrow.